16 minutes past 6 of time. Water pollution is an issue covered many times at breakfast. It continues to be a problem for our seas, lakes and rivers across the UK.
And now the BBC has identified what could be thousands of illegal sewage spills by water companies in England in 2022. Here's more from our environment correspondent, Jonah Fisher.
Every year, the water companies release a summary of how often they spill raw sewage. They're big numbers, but you can't work out from them whether the spills were permitted or not. If there's been lots of rain or melting snow, spilling raw sewage can be legal, as it stops the system being overwhelmed and sewage backing up into our homes. But the law is very clear. Spills that take place when it hasn't rained are a breach of the water company's permits.
When an overflow operates on a dry day, there's less water in the river, and that sort of sewage component becomes bigger. And then that's when we have problems with ammonia, with dissolved oxygen, what have you. So it actually causes problems for wildlife.
Which is why they're illegal.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely.
To pinpoint possible dry spills, the BBC developed a methodology which uses rainfall data from the Met Office to indicate if spills could have taken place when the weather was dry. We then asked all of England's water companies to provide us details of exactly when and where they spilled in 2022, a famously hot and dry year.
We have a big BBC investigation.
Last year, 3 companies gave us their data, and we revealed 388 possible dry spills. 6 companies refused the BBC's request, giving a variety of reasons, including citing the fact that they're under criminal investigation, an explanation which the regulators reject.
We don't think it's good. We think it corrodes public trust in the industry. Customers have paid for these monitors and paid for the data. Therefore, I think companies should share that.
Why are they refusing to share it with us?
You'll have to ask them.
So we did.
Why did so many of the water companies refuse to give us the data from 2022? It does rather give the impression that they have something to hide.
I disagree.
Why did they withhold it?
So all of that data is available in real time on their website.
It's not from 2022. I will correct you there.
And all of the data is submitted to the regulator, who will analyse this data and make the determination.
Yes, the regulator gave us the data because the water companies wouldn't.
It is for every individual company to explain the basis on which it distributes the data. We are the most transparent industry in the world when it comes to water.
In the end, the Environment Agency stepped in and gave the BBC the company's data. Our analysis increases the total of possible dry spills in 2022 to nearly 6,000, with those possible spills lasting more than 29,000 hours.
Are you surprised at the scale of this?
I would like to say I'm surprised. I'm not surprised. These networks haven't been invested in for decades. That investment needs to take place.
The water companies said the BBC's methodology was flawed. They also said many of the possible spills we identified were in fact equipment malfunctions.
The data is not sufficient to draw the conclusions regarding whether a spill is dry or wet. Regardless, though, we don't want to see any spill of sewage, whether it's dry or wet, into our waterways.
Water companies must from this year publish information about their spills as they happen. And more investigators, like Gavin here in Essex, are being recruited by the Environment Agency. Data has made us aware of the scale of the sewage problem. The question now is how we fix it. Jonah Fisher, BBC News.